So, a little while ago, I made a video talking about Valve's upcoming Steam machine, their big living room gaming device, and I said it looked promising, the hardware sounded solid, and most importantly, it didn't seem like Valve was trying to compete with the next gen heavy hitters like PlayStation 6 or the next Xbox. No, the Steam machine, at least in my head, was doing something smarter. Something Valve-like, if you will. It was carving its own lane, just like the Steam Deck did. Because the Steam Deck is not the most powerful handheld in the world, not even close, but it dominated the market because it felt unique, it had a unique purpose, and Valve priced it with actual human logic instead of whatever delusional spreadsheet Nintendo uses. So naturally I thought Steam Machine was following the same strategy, a mid-tier performance box with a smart price. Something in the 500 range, something normal. But the more we hear, even without an official announcement, the more that hope is slowly melting away. And I even said this before, it all depends on the price. That was my main point. If they hit that right number, this thing is gonna fly. Fast forward to now, and suddenly that number is looking less and less real. Because of one simple thing, Valve keeps insisting that Steam Machine is not a console, it's a mini PC. And they said that it will be priced as a mini PC, and that sentiment has alone been destroying my optimism 1 year on at a time. And here's the thing, Valve can call it whatever the hell they want. They can shout it mini PC at the top of Mount Everest, but it's the perception that matters. And perception usually doesn't listen to corporate press lines. People see Steam Machine as a console. People will use it as a console, and most importantly, people will compare it to consoles. You put a small box next to a TV, that's a console. End of story. Congratulations, you're on the console war whether you want to be or not. And the moment you're in that space, you don't get to charge PC prices anymore, because consoles follow a simple rule: high performance and subsidized price. PC hardware does not follow that rule. Steam Machine, Valve is still hinting that it will. And let's look at the tech community, people who actually dig through hardware costs and have already made videos about it, and their projected prices range from $700 to $900. Let me be clear, I like Valve, I like their hardware, and I like their ecosystem. But $700 to $900 for a mini PC performing around PS5 level? Yeah, that's a big no from me. Because think about it logically for 2 seconds. Why would anyone buy a $900 Steam machine when the PS6 is literally around the corner, like offering better hardware for the same or maybe even less money ? It's the same mistake Valve made with the original Steam machines, overestimating how much the average person wants a PC in the living room and underestimating the power of simple console economics. If your device competes with consoles in shape, usage and purpose, then it will be judged like a console whether you personally want that or not. And in that comparison, a $700 to $900 price tag is too much. Let's walk through what happens if Valve actually launches this thing in that $700 to $900 bracket. It's no longer a console alternative, it instantly becomes just another mini PC. The performance to price ratio becomes embarrassing, and the average consumer says, why wouldn't I just save this money for a PS6, which is absolutely logical. This is what really annoys me about it's not a console mindset that Valve has. When you create something that visually and functionally behaves like a console, the market decides its category, not the manufacturer. And if you get that wrong, history simply tends to repeat itself, and trust me, nobody wants a repeat of the Steam Machine disaster chapter in Valve's history books. Now the big question, can Valve still save this thing? And I think for sure, Because here's the saving grace, Valve hasn't confirmed the price. Everything so far has been hints, comments, or maybe even vibes, interpretations that people have. There's still room for Valve to go, alright, maybe 500 to 600 makes more sense. And if they hit 499, this thing could absolutely dominate. If they hit 599, it's still a fighting chance. But anything above that suddenly becomes a conversation about competing with next-gen consoles, and Valve will lose that comparison every single time. I believe Valve listens. They listened with the Steam Deck and they paid attention to fan feedback. They made smart adjustments. So I think there is a little bit of hope there. But if they ignore the market's perception and lean too hard into the mini PC label and price it like a premium workstation, well, then the Steam Machine could go from the most exciting device of the year to another ambitious flop faster than you can say, Gabe, please stop. So yeah, this is where I currently stand. I was hyped, I still enjoyed the idea of Steam Machine, but if the price rumors are even remotely accurate, this thing might sink before it even leaves the dock. But hey, these are just my thoughts. Maybe Valve will drop the Steam Machine at $999 and it still becomes an overnight sensation. Who really knows what's gonna happen? Valve fans are unpredictable. SteamOS is cool and the ecosystem is really strong. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.